is that warms my heart. I'm all filled up. Like I love this. This whole interview with you is making me feel really good. Like what about you guys out there? I mean, this is amazing. I love this. The other thing I wanted to say is, if any of you out there do public speaking, which I know a few people watching have, it takes a ton of endurance to be able to put it's a kind of energy sucking. You're putting all of yourself out there to give of yourself to your audience, and it's on your feet, and it's a lot of prep before you go on, and then you're on, and then it's kind of it can be energy draining. And when I saw this picture, and I was like, of
That's
course.
age 73, running mountain trails in California.
Yeah, so you obviously also believe in feeding your body what it needs to be successful physically and exercise.
Right.
Because in the beginning of this interview, you talked about when you were a clerk for the government. And by the way, Lynn Serrano said the government just called and wants their paychecks. But you also said you were 50 pounds overweight back then.
52 pounds overweight. Yep.
So when you heard Earl Nightingale, even that shifted into taking better care of yourself?
Ultimately, it was a couple of years later when that shifted, because at first I didn't focus on my weight. I was just doing goal setting for general life direction. I had set some goals to lose weight, but I knew I could lose weight. I always had. Anytime I went on a diet, I'd lose maybe 20 pounds. And then a couple of years later, I'd have it back. And this had started to swell to the point that I weighed 200 pounds on a 5'9" frame, and I ought to weigh about 150, which is what I weigh now, and have since 1976. So I had a big change coming in that respect. And I just decided one day I'm done being heavy. And I know I can diet, so that's not what I need to do. I need to change my eating habits. I need to become a slender person. Well, what's the difference between a guy who loses weight and a slender person? Well, a slender person doesn't have a weight problem. Oh, they think differently about food, about exercise, about life. Slender people don't get and stay fat. They might gain and lose weight a little bit, but they're not going to swell up and stay overweight. So I became a slender person in 1976, and it took some doing, but in about a 5 or 6 month period, shrunk, got into good physical shape, and stayed there.
That's, all of this that you have shared with us is powerful. Okay. It is very powerful, because you're giving us this information. You have read all the help books that have inspired you to then go write 25 of your own, and to have programs and to help people and guide people and coach people. And you're an entrepreneur, you're all the things. And so thinking differently about even food can help you reach your goals of success.
And about yourself, because I was used to being fat. And so when I would do something really well and someone would compliment me, I would say, yeah, not bad for a fat kid, huh? And I meant it, and didn't realize what I was doing to myself.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, that negative self-talk right there.
Oh, I remember the first time anyone said skinny like Jim. It was a guy named Glenn. It was in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was in Boulder Park, and we were doing like frisbee tosses and things at a picnic. Yeah. And this guy said, okay, let's choose up teams for this, and I want skinny people like Jim. And I thought,
you didn't identify as that.
I mean, that made an imprint on me, because I also remember a few years earlier in a group discussion, we were saying,